What's up, everybody? It's your brother Nitty Bay, KMS 23 and 6. Naptown, stand up, St. Louis, stand up. I'm on my Dirty Man West shit. Pressure talk in the building. Um, this one might be a little lengthy, so you know what I'm saying. If you one of these people who can't sit past 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, you know what I'm saying, this is not for you. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, you wouldn't understand what I'm about to say anyway. So, you know, you can keep it pushing with all due respect. I just don't want to waste your time and your energy. But for those who want to stick around, let's talk. Did y'all know that the police department don't have to respond to a call? Now, I have to make a distinction because there's an educational moment here. When I say the police department, I'm going to use the state that I'm in. In the state that I'm in Indiana. I'm in Indianapolis, but I'm in the state of Indiana. They have multiple different police departments in Indianapolis. They got Beech Grove, they got Lawrence, they got Whitestown, IMPD, the state troopers, you know what I'm saying? Then you have the sheriffs. The sheriffs is just the sheriffs. There is no the sheriff. Each county is you know, that's the county sheriff's name. The sheriff is the name of the county, or the sheriff's name is the name of the county. Now, I got a question. Why do we have a police department when we have sheriffs? Like, did y'all know that when you call the police, they are not obligated or required to respond to your call? Which means they don't work for us. And if they don't work for us, then why are we answering to them? Like, I'm still trying to figure this out. And I'm gonna tell a story because I'm trying to get a narrative going here. We as Americans, man, the individuals who we have allowed to manage, you know what I'm saying, our structure, have decided to engage in deceptive activities by allowing us to go through a process, even though the process is not real. It doesn't exist. It has no authority. It has no effect. But because it benefits them, and we don't know no better, they allow it to the point to where it started to seem like something that's normal. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I'm going to give you a quick example, then I'm going to get into my little story. Calling a woman handsome in 2026 is offensive because we were always taught that you call a man handsome. This is what we were taught. This was a learned practice that you only call a man handsome. But if you actually go and look at the definition of the word, it's a unisex word. It can be applied to a male or a female. But because we had got so accustomed to a custom being passed down as truth, we took it as a reality. And then if you come along and try to use it in that manner now it's offensive. Now there's a conflict. Now this is how confusion is created, and we need to get out of that. So I'm gonna put something serious on the table. Y'all take it how y'all take it. Hopefully I can get some assistance on it. If not, hopefully somebody hear this, they can run with it. So back in I want to say, man, this was like 2011. Maybe, yeah, about 2011, 2010. I ended up running into one of my Morris kin, a brother out of Chicago. He's from the Mecca, named Johnson Bay. He's an older brother. And me and another one of the brothers, brother by the name of David Seal, one of my, you know what I'm saying? That's one of my brothers. You know how in every circle, you know what I'm saying, everybody is family, but you got some people that are closer to you than others. You know what I'm saying? Not the saying that the ones that the others are not, you know what I'm saying, there's an issue there. It's just we haven't got to that point yet. But me and the Moore was one of the ones that got to this point. Me, him, and a brother by the name of Burks Bay. Because we got real heavy into that law. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to brother Burks Bay, because he's the one that actually got me into the law. You know, when I came across the word litigation and understood what it meant, it was over for me. You know what I'm saying? That's all I wanted to do was get in the law library and learn how to litigate. That's all I wanted to do. Because I know what that word means. I know what it brings. So, anyway, me, the brother Johnson Bay, brother Davis Hill, we walking around the yard one day. It's rec time. And the brother asked us, you know, do we know if we're being held in prison legally? So I'm like, more we go through the whole process of, committing a crime. He said, Namor, this is a separate issue. I said, what do you mean? He said, more, I'm not asking you, about the crime. We're talking about the detention in the prison system, being held in here. So again, pardon the body, me and my ignorance, I'm not one of these individuals that get offended when somebody is talking to me about something that I don't know. I actually want to know what you're talking about now. You know what I'm saying? So now I need you to elaborate. So the brother, proceeds to explain that every person that's in prison, before the diagnostic center, or, well, let me break that down, because just for people who don't know, what the diagnostic center is, and if you ain't never been to the penitentiary, I advise you to never go to the penitentiary. Shout out to Joe T. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with Joe T. But that was his slogan, though. By the way, I don't want nobody to think I can't. I'm just giving props to my guy, even though I don't know that brother, but I fuck with his content. But so the brother was informing us that when you let me get back to the diagnostic center. My fault. I almost lost my thought. But in Indiana, when you get convicted of a crime and sentenced, they send you to a place called RDC. You know what I'm saying? This is the diagnostic center before you even get to any prison. This is where they determine what prison you're going to go to, your levels, all that stuff. So the brother proceeds to explain, that when we were convicted and sentenced, every state has a law that requires that the judge sign what's called a judgment of conviction order. In certain states, it may be called minimus papers, but it's the same thing. A judge has to certify with their signature your conviction. Well, here's the thing. We're actually not allowed to be convicted as criminals in this country as Americans. I'm sorry. I know this is going to blow y'all mind, but bro, we are actually not allowed to be charged with crimes in America if we are Americans. Now, let me explain that. So, the judgment of conviction order in the state of Indiana is called a judgment of conviction order. When the brother explained this, he said, man, in order for them to hold you, they have to have a judgment of conviction order. So I said, brother, what do you mean by what is that? He said, brother, this is a document that transfers jurisdiction of your person over to the DOC or the executive branch. Let me not do that because the DOC falls up under the executive branch in the state of Indiana. I don't know about no other states, but in the state of Indiana, the DOC answers to the governor. So it comes up under the executive part of the government. So when the brother demonstrated that, because I was familiar with the concept of subject matter jurisdiction and jurisdiction over the person, now I'm understanding what he means by not challenging the case, but challenging the detention itself. But I'm still kind of lost. Like, okay, so how is it that they're not allowed to hold me? Well, he explained it, and he said that this is jurisdiction over the person. In order for DOC to hold you, they have to have jurisdiction over the person. They have to have documented proof that they have authority to hold you. Why? Because when they receive federal funding from the government or the state, they have to be able to show that they have possession of you, that they are legally allowed to have possession of you. Most states, most prisoners don't have that. They don't have a judgment of conviction order. They're not supposed to be receiving money for you. You're not supposed to be in prison. If they don't have a judgment of conviction order, bro, you're not supposed to be in their custody. They are holding you illegally. And all the money that they are receiving for you, you're supposed to have personally. They're not supposed to be receiving that money in your name because it's in your name. Now, let me explain to y'all why we're not allowed to be arrested in this country for anything. The reason why most courts don't issue a judgment of conviction order or what they call minimus papers is because the majority of the laws that are made by the congressional whatever or unconstitutional. You can't make any law that forces labor. It's not allowed. That's slavery. Even though they claim that the 13th Amendment allows them to put an individual back into slavery for the commission of a crime. Unfortunately, the only crime that the Constitution mentions that we can be charged for is treason. No other crimes. The Constitution is us telling these people what we want from them, what we're allowing them to do. This is the only thing that can be listed as a crime. Most of us over here have what's called a treaty. This is what allows the government to charge ones with a crime. The treaty that is agreed upon by the particular people that's being governed. This is why the system is different. When you go in there, people don't get the same time. They don't understand that. If it's the same type of crime, it should be the same time. People try to say, oh, it deals with somebody's history, it deals with that. That's negative. It's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? That shit is irrelevant. It has everything to do with ethnicity, race. Everything to do with ethnicity and race. Now, let me ask you this. In the United States Supreme Court, there's multiple decisions. I'm not even going to go through. There's multiple, so many, where the United States Supreme Court has made it clear that in America, the people, meaning the people that were born here, are sovereign. They're the king. We, the men and women, we're the kings. We're the sovereign, not the government. The courts have even made it clear that there is no inherent power of sovereignty in the government. It comes to us. It's only in our hands. You know what I'm saying? We're allowing them the privilege. They don't even have a right to hold these offices. It's a privilege. That's what's crazy. It's not a right to hold an office. It's a privilege because we have to vote you in to put you there. If we say no, guess what? You can't hold the office. Now, anybody get back to why they're not allowed to charge us with a crime? If the United States Supreme Court said in America the people are sovereign, a sovereign only answers to God. He don't answer to no government. You cannot charge me with a crime if I'm the king. I make the rules. I make the law. That's what kings do. That's what sovereigns do. All we did was we split our power into 3 parts. 3. Executive, legislative, judicial. And then we decided to give grace to our own kind and allow them to run it so we can go do other things. So we can go and be free, live our life. Freedom of expression, enjoy this world. That's what that's supposed to be for. They're not supposed to be regulating our rights. They can't. It's unconstitutional. But the reason why it is illegal for them to charge us with a crime is because there's no agency outside of the sheriff's department that can charge us with a crime. I just seen a reel where some DCS people, they showed up to a man's house to take his daughter. They had several police officers with them. And because somebody made a report, an alleged report of fentanyl or whatever, they thought they were going to take that man's daughter. So the moment he said, well, you can't come in without a warrant. You know what I'm saying? And they need a warrant, talking about the police. The woman said, well, I'm not law enforcement. Then you not coming in my house. Only law enforcement is allowed to come in my house, and they have to have a warrant. Anybody else is not allowed. I don't have to let a judge in my house. I don't have to let a lawmaker in my house. I don't have to do none of that. Even if they had a warrant, they're not allowed in my house. Only law enforcement is allowed in my house. Now check out that name, law enforcement. Remember I asked earlier, why do we got 2 police departments? An administrative one and the sheriff's department. Why is it that when 911 is called, the only one to show up is the administrative officers? You don't never see a sheriff pull up to a domestic violence situation. None of that. You don't never see them on scene. Why is that? I'm just saying, man, I know this is my calling, and I have been off my dean because the protection that I would need to bring this into fruition doesn't exist, and it don't look like it's going to exist no time soon because our people is embroiled in this gender war that they got going on out here, which is the goofiest shit in the world to me. But okay, I guess that's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I just had to get on here, man, and vent for a little bit, man, because like I said, I filed a writ of habeas corpus back in 2010, 2011 to the governor's office because I want to know why you hold me in your custody without a judgment or conviction order. And I never received a response. I sent the certified mail, return receipt, everything. Never received a response. And I'm just like, this is deep. Man, it's crazy because before I get out of here, I got another little group. I think I'm gonna post this video on that group. I got another little group that I be in. A law group, a UCC group. I got a couple of them. And I asked the question this morning of I told them that I filed this hate to the governor's office and never see the response. What's my recourse? And one thing that it just irritates me, man, when people who think they smart want to try to comment on something they have no education in. I asked that simple question. And instead of answering the question, individuals want to get on there and ask, well, are you incarcerated? Or why would you file this? Or why would you do it this way? Or why would you do it that? That's irrelevant. I asked you one question. If you have no answer, shut the fuck up. Let somebody who got an answer to the question answer. Y'all want to get in these groups and just go back and forth and throw stuff out there that you done heard somebody say or a little bit information you done read and you ain't did no real study and no real footwork or nothing. But you want somebody to listen to you. You want to hit and back and argue back and forth with individuals that's actually trying to learn how to use this system. Go sit down, man. Go sit in the back. Go sit in the back, man. Pressure Talk to the building, man. It's your brother Millie Bag, K-Miss 2026. Not town stand up, St. Louis stand up. I'm on my Dirty Midwest shit.